let me share my diabetes diary. I'm in the process of creating such, numerically speaking, more importantly. So if you look at my screen, I'm listing the hours from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. The green until about 3 a.m., 3 p.m. represents the optimal food intake. Now, this is going against my practice and my personal observation of what's good for me, but I was listening to a very compelling scientific evidence that states that after 4 p.m. any food intake is meeting a reduced insulin production, because we are beginning to create melatonin to go to sleep. That's a slow process, but nonetheless, when melatonin is started to produced, then the insulin production goes down. So from that perspective, if this data is true, and I'm getting it from medical doctors talking about this, so there's a scientific data, an optimal food intake is taking place before 4 p.m. for that particular consideration, which is for us diabetes type 2. It's very important. So from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. that's where I'm trying to eat and have my feeding schedule accordingly. Oh, my food intake is coming in 5 minutes doing the calibration test, so let's hurry up here. And then if you go down to the columns, weekly note from Monday to Sunday, but I'm doing it twice, red and a blue. The blue is for the ketones when I'm doing intermittent fasting and I'm measuring my ketones. That's for that. And if you look below that, lowest GKI, well, the GKI requires another explanation in another video for those who don't know about it, and that's not a commonly known metrics just yet, as far as I know. So the yellow I measure, that's a symbol for the hours when the food intake takes place and its effect. So in other words, insulin is expected to be high. Green when I do walks or exercise. For me, the exercise is pretty much walks at this time and Tai Chi. And then with red, if there is any kind of a stressor present, which also make blood sugar go up. And then the gold or orange color is the fasting. I also make my notes here with the first calibration of AMU. I made some notes, as you can tell, here, which was interesting to see how plus 1.4, plus 1.3 compared to the blood test. But then there was minus 1.6 and minus 0.9 values. But again, we are at a calibration stage, so I'm not really concerned about these discrepancies. And today was very interesting, using the AMU only until 9. I went for an hour walk and did Tai Chi, and the measurement, I expect to see big drop on insulin, on blood glucose value, but this time it was very minimal, very minimal. So that's a concern, or a flag at least. And then when I started the calibration half an hour ago, the second round of calibration, this is day 3 since I have the AMU, there was a big difference between, if you can take a look at it, today is Saturday, I'm highlighting this cell here, AMU says 5.9, and if you see an hour before, 6.2, and an hour before that was 6. So I went for an hour walk, and before the walk was 6.2, it went down to 6, an hour later it's back to 6.2. Then I'm measuring it for the purpose of calibration. It tells me to go and eat. and then the blood test comes in at 7.8. Interesting notes.